How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. Back with a little bit of beer I'm kind of excited about in the form of Marlowe Artisanal Ales. It is their Despite All Odds. Yes. This be a double IPA brewed with my favorite, and by my favorite, that would be Zach Ross's favorite, my favorite malt, hops, and yeast brewed only once a year to commemorate our anniversary. How old are these guys? It's probably their first anniversary, I would assume. I could be wrong. Yeah, we'll see what's what. It is, like I said, Despite All Odds, Double Imperial Pale Ale. It says, named after my late grandfather, these beers attempt, the Marlowe name, I believe, attempt to honor his memory. We believe in a balance of all things and present these beers as such. We hope you enjoy them as accent to your experience with your friends and family. Drink while exploring. Yeah. A little rubber ducky in a wave. I don't know. Did he work at Nebco or something? Fuzzy Baby Ducks? I don't know. We'll see what's what. Well, I'm excited because I believe this is the first big IPA I've had from Marlowe. Almost everything I've had has been relatively low ABV, from lagers to pale ales to maybe even a base IPA. This would be the largest one I've had at 8 and change. 8 even, sorry. And, label-wise, it's cool. It's kind of like the classic Japanese wave. I forget the name of the painting. With a little rubber ducky on it. And, yeah, that looked like a big old hazy. I mean, rich orangeness to it. I mean, it's not forgiving, even on the edges as far as light goes. It is what beers aspire to when they want to be all the opaque, but just can't get there. Yeah, pinky finger, infinitely tight, super creamy head to it, just south of khaki. I mean, it looks like a big burly. I don't think I've used burly before, but we're going to say it. Burly hazy. See if you get a nose. Not a gigantic nose on here. It's very much Orangina-like, but just a little bit less sweet. Orangina, orange-leaning kind of nose to it. Not getting much as far as bittering. There's a soft minty component to this, though, which I like. So that's probably a little bit of green in play there. A little bit of orange pith, but mainly just that big orange leaning towards an Orangina kind of Sunny D kind of level of sweetness. Not big, not huge, not a 2x4 to the face. Smells fun nonetheless. Let's dive in. Cheers. Really? It's dangerous. This was packaged 3 weeks ago. I like it, but it's very low impact for ABV. I'm getting mostly like citrus had a baby with a cantaloupe kind of vibe off this one. And why don't you just go, hey, why don't you just say citrus and cantaloupe? No, but it's not citrus and cantaloupe. It's like if they had a baby and the baby was a little citrus cantaloupe. Because it's not as sharp and not as aggressive and as acidic as you would get off a citrus fruit, but not nearly as mild as a cantaloupe. So elevate a little bit of those cantaloupe vibes, bring down that citrus level, that acidic citrus level of a nice orange, a little bit of grapefruit, maybe a kumquat in there if you want to get fancy. Green, that green I thought was going to be minty, definitely comes off like hot pellet green. With a little bit of danky greenness. I don't hate this beer. It's weird because I keep, and this is going to be really weird. I keep thinking I'm going to say it should be 5 or 6, but that's not the case. It drinks like 8%. The sharpness of the hop, the aggressiveness of the beer across the board. It's an 8% beer. It just lacks that kind of hefty duty kind of impact. It's kind of like a concave. I talk about this donut thing every now and then when it comes to kind of IPAs. The IPAs that really don't inspire me, a lot of these hazies from some certain companies, they have this kind of fringe kind of characteristics that a lot of really good hazies have, but they miss like a core to it. this beer's like that, except instead of a donut, it's like a sharp point, like the bevel's pointed. So it's not missing. It's weird. I'm not going to be able to kind of, explain what I'm trying to get off here, which is kind of poopy because I think there could be really fun things said about the beer. I just don't have it in me to talk about it because it's unique. And that it's impactful where you know you're drinking something of heftiness. It's impactful enough to where all those bits and pieces add up to something that equals the heftiness of the beer. It's not a make beer, but it's just, it doesn't get, it's not a 2x4 to the face. Maybe it's a bunch of half and halves to the face. I don't know. It's kind of like a weird beer. And that in and of itself makes it fun. That I'm kind of trying to fight through it and kind of explain it in my brain and try to think about it in the best way I can kind of equate it to you guys about what I'm having. Super soft mouthfeel. Super soft. That hop is pretty big. Green and hop pellet. A little bit of hop burn, but in a positive way. That orange had a baby with a cantaloupe thing still rings true for me. Throwing a little bit of peachiness now. I'm starting to get a little bit of stone fruit coming through. But everything is aggressive yet soft. You know what I mean? Like, meek yet sharp. I mean, whatever opposite ends of the spectrum you want me to throw out there, it kind of shows. And that in and of itself makes it a fun beer. I like this. I like this beer quite a bit. Let's cut to the chase. Is this one of the better double IPAs I've had as of late? No. That's the weird part. I don't know if I really, really overtly enjoy this beer, but I enjoy the experience it's given me. I know that sounds like total cop-out garbage. I'm not trying to be that dude. I'm glad I had this beer. Would I buy a 4-pack of this? I don't think so. But would I ever want to try this again, more specifically on draft at the brewery or wherever they dispense this at? Yeah. Anniversary beer. They brew it once a year. I want to have this next year. Let's put it that way. So I already talked about, is it one of the better ones? Value and availability, no idea. Marlowe people, let me know it's what. And leave you with, if you like, what will you like this beer? I could see a lot of people really enjoying this beer because it does give you a more restrained impact at a higher ABV. I think if you're really into kind of thinking about beer while you're drinking it, I know that's kind of like a no shit Sherlock. Why wouldn't anybody do that? Well, a lot of people just rip through beers for fun. I don't know. It's just interesting. I'd really like to know what you guys think about this beer, actually. That's what this beer is. Have you had this beer? If you've had this beer, let me know what you guys have thought about this beer. And let me know when you had it, because I could see this beer kind of morphing from week to week on this. So we're talking about, this beer being almost a month old, so 3 weeks old. That's not old for a beer. I'm not saying that's old for a beer, but I'm saying I can see this being markedly different, a day old, a week old, 2 weeks old versus 3 weeks old. So if you guys had this, let me know what you think, because when you watch this, if you had it at a distinctly different time, under different conditions, I can see this beer coming off infinitely different. Let's put it that way. And leave you with, if you like this, interesting beer. That's what we're talking about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Thank you very much, Steven, for dropping us off. Down there, if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a little Marlowe right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.